Jack walked carefully through the dense forest. His lion Leo moved silently beside him. The sun was low, and shadows stretched long across the ground. Jack had always loved exploring, but today felt different. There was a strange stillness in the air. Leo stopped suddenly and sniffed the air. Jack froze and looked where the lion was staring. Behind a pile of rocks, a girl was crouched. Her hair was messy, and her clothes were torn. She looked scared and weak. Jack stepped closer slowly, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. The girl looked up and her eyes were wide with fear. Jack spoke softly. "It is okay. We will not hurt you." The girl did not answer. She shivered and looked around as if she was afraid someone would come for her. Leo growled softly, a warning to the girl. Jack noticed that the lion did not seem angry. He was alert, protective, but calm. It was as if Leo understood something Jack could not. He knelt down a little and said, "I am Jack. My lion is Leo. You can trust us." The girl looked at Jack and then at Leo. She seemed to hesitate. Finally, she crawled out from behind the rocks. She whispered almost too softly to hear, "They are coming." Jack frowned. "Who is coming?" The girl did not answer. Her eyes filled with fear and she shook her head. Jack stood up and held out his hand. "You are safe with us. Come, we will take you somewhere you can rest." The girl did not move at first, but Leo nudged her gently with his nose. She gasped, but did not pull away. Slowly, she allowed Jack to help her to her feet. They walked back through the forest. Jack noticed how careful the girl was, how she watched every shadow and sound. It was clear she'd been hiding for a long time. Leo walked close to her, always between her and any possible danger. Jack admired the lion's loyalty and intelligence. After some time, they reached Jack's small home near the edge of the forest. It was simple, made of wood and stone, but safe. Jack helped the girl inside and gave her water. She drank quickly, like she had not eaten for days. Jack watched her, trying to understand who she was. She did not answer his questions. Her eyes were full of sadness and fear. Jack sat beside her and said, "You do not have to be afraid here. You are safe now." The girl nodded slightly, but did not speak. Leo lay at her feet, calm and alert. Jack wondered how a lion could be so connected to a stranger, but he did not question it. Something about this girl was special. As night came, Jack built a small fire outside. He cooked some food for them all. The girl ate slowly, watching every movement, always cautious. Jack decided to give her space. He knew she needed time to trust him. In the quiet of the night, the girl finally spoke. Her voice was soft and shaky. "I am not from here. I do not belong here." Jack listened carefully. "It does not matter where you come from. You are here now, and you are safe. That is what matters." She looked at him with wide eyes, unsure if she could believe him. Leo lay beside the girl, his head resting on her lap. She stroked his mane gently. Jack watched, feeling a strange sense of hope. He did not know what was ahead, but he knew they had to protect her. Whoever she was, she needed them. Suddenly, the girl whispered again, "They are coming for me. You must protect me." Jack nodded, feeling a chill. "I will protect you. Leo and I will not let anyone hurt you." The girl's eyes filled with tears, but she managed a small nod. Jack looked at the stars above. The forest was quiet again, but he knew this was only the beginning. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. For now, he would rest and prepare. He had found the girl, and he would keep her safe, no matter what came. Jack woke early the next morning. The girl, who had not yet told him her name, was sitting quietly by the fire. Leo was lying next to her, keeping watch. Jack knew he needed to learn more about her, and why she was so afraid. "What is your name?" Jack asked gently. The girl looked down and hesitated. "Lily," she said softly. Jack nodded. "Lily, you are safe here. No one will hurt you." She did not answer, but allowed him to lead her inside the small house. Jack gave her some clothes he had in a bag. They were rough and plain, but clean. Lily changed quickly, still keeping her eyes alert for danger. Jack watched her, noticing the way she moved carefully, like she was used to hiding. Leo patted around the house, checking every corner. Jack smiled. He trusted Leo more than anyone. The lion had already bonded with Lily, sitting close to her and watching over her every move. Jack felt relief knowing she had some protection. Lily began to explore the small house quietly. She opened cupboards, touched the walls, and studied everything. Jack could see that she was curious but cautious. "You can ask for anything you need," he said. "We will help you." Lily looked at him for a moment and nodded. She did not speak much, but her eyes followed every movement, learning everything quickly. Later, Jack took Lily to the small stream nearby. The water was cold and clear. Leo walked beside them, alert to any sounds. Jack wanted Lily to feel some normalcy, a chance to breathe and think. He watched her carefully as she knelt by the stream and washed her face. Suddenly, Lily looked up and whispered, "I think they are following me." Jack froze. "Who is following you?" She shook her head. "I do not know, but I feel them. They will come soon." Jack's stomach tightened. He had suspected danger, but hearing her say it confirmed it. That evening, Jack went to the village council to ask for advice. He told them about Lily, but left out her strange abilities for now. The villagers were wary. They did not like outsiders, and this girl was different. Some argued that she should leave. Jack stood firm. "She is a human like us. She is in danger. Cannot turn her away." The council finally agreed to let Lily stay for a short time. Jack felt a small victory. When he returned, he found Lily sitting by the fire with Leo. She looked up and said softly, "Thank you for helping me." "I did not think anyone would care." Jack smiled. "We will protect you, Lily. That is all that matters." The night was quiet, but Jack could sense the tension. Something was coming. He stayed awake, watching the shadows beyond the small house. Leo lay alert, his ears twitching at every sound. Lily sat next to him, occasionally stroking his mane. Jack noticed that the girl had grown calmer in the presence of the lion. Days passed. Jack taught Lily simple skills for survival in the forest. She learned quickly, moving with caution and intelligence. Leo became her protector and companion. The villagers slowly began to trust her as well, seeing that she meant no harm and helped in small tasks around the village. One evening, as the sun was setting, Jack and Lily sat on a hill overlooking the forest. She leaned against Leo, her eyes scanning the horizon. "I do not know why they want me," she said quietly. "I've done nothing wrong." Jack took her hand. "Sometimes danger comes without reason, but we will face it together." Suddenly they heard movement in the distance. Shadows of men moving fast through the trees. Jack stood up quickly. "They are here," he said. Lily's eyes widened, but she did not panic. Leo growled and stepped in front of him. Jack felt a surge of determination. He would not let anyone harm her. The first part of the hunt had begun. Jack, Lily, and Leo were ready, but they knew that surviving the coming danger would test every skill, every bond, and every courage they had. The forest would be their battlefield, and they had to be smarter and faster than the men who followed them. Jack looked at Lily. "We will get through this. Together." She nodded. For the first time, she allowed herself to believe it. Leo growled again, as if agreeing, and the three of them prepared for the night ahead. The forest was quiet, but Jack knew it would not last. He and Lily moved quickly through the trees, Leo running beside them. The shadows of men followed at a distance, their movements careful but threatening. Jack's heart raced. He had to keep Lily safe, no matter what. They reached a small clearing. Jack knelt and whispered, "We need a plan." "They are close." Lily looked around nervously. "I can help," she said softly. "I know tricks to hide and confuse them." Jack nodded. He did not know exactly what she meant, but he trusted her instincts. Leo sniffed the air and growled, sensing the danger. Jack led Lily deeper into the forest. They used paths he knew, but Lily suggested detours he had never seen. She moved silently, leaving no traces. Jack realized that her knowledge of hiding was extraordinary. Leo followed her lead, weaving between the trees with surprising agility. Hours passed. The men were close, but they could not find the trio. Jack admired Lily's skills, but he worried about what would happen if they were caught. "We cannot stay here forever," he said. "Need to find somewhere safe." Lily nodded. "They know a place high in the cliffs. They will not follow us there easily." Jack agreed and followed her lead. The climb was difficult. Rocks were slippery and the path narrow. Leo moved carefully but still protected them both. Jack held Lily's hand, guiding her up the steep paths. She trusted him completely. They reached a small plateau near the top where a few trees and bushes gave some cover. Look down. The forest stretched far below, but they could still see shadows moving among the trees. The men were searching, but they did not seem to know exactly where Jack, Lily, and Leo had gone. Jack felt a small relief. They had gained some advantage. Lily crouched and whispered, "We can make a trap here. When they come closer, we will slow them down." Jack followed her instructions carefully. She pointed to weak branches and loose rocks. Together, they prepared the area. Leo growled and waited, ready to act. Night came, and the men drew nearer. Jack and Lily stayed hidden, holding their breath. Leo's ears twitched at every sound.
Oh?
The first man stepped onto a loose branch. It broke with a loud snap. Jack tensed. The other men rushed forward, but Lily's traps worked perfectly. Rocks fell, branches snapped, and confusion spread. In the chaos, Jack and Lily slipped away quietly. Leo ran ahead, roaring to scare the men and protect his companions. Jack was amazed at the lion's strength and loyalty. He had never seen anything like it. After the men were gone, Jack, Lily, and Leo rested briefly. They were safe for now, but Jack knew this was only temporary. They needed a more secure place. Somewhere the men could not reach them. Lily suggested a hidden cave she had discovered while exploring the cliffs. Jack agreed, and they moved quickly. Inside the cave, they found water and space to rest. Lily looked around and finally smiled faintly. "This is safe," she said. Jack nodded. He trusted her judgment completely. Leo lay at the entrance, keeping watch, his eyes glowing in the dim light. Jack sat beside Lily. "You are amazing," he said. "You saved us multiple times today." Lily looked at him with calm eyes. "We must survive together. I have been hiding all my life. I know how to stay safe." Jack felt a mixture of admiration and concern. He did not know the full story of her past, but he knew she was special. As they settled in for the night, Jack thought about the coming days. The Queen's men were relentless, but they had skills, courage, and Leo on their side. He trusted Lily, and he knew she would guide them safely through the dangers ahead. For the first time, Lily seemed at ease. She leaned against Leo, watching the shadows of the cave flicker in the firelight. Jack realized that their bond was growing stronger. They were no longer just survivor and protected. They were a team, ready to face whatever came next. Outside, the wind howled through the cliffs. Jack knew the journey was far from over. But with Lily and Leo by his side, he felt hope. They had survived the first chase, and they would face the next challenge together. Tomorrow, the hunt would continue, but tonight they were safe. For now, that was enough. The next morning, Jack woke early and looked around the cave. Lily was already awake, watching the sun rise through a crack in the rocks. Leo lay beside her, alert and calm. Jack felt a surge of determination. Today, they would plan their next move carefully. Jack whispered, "We need to get closer to the village. They might look for us there, but we can warn the people and gain help." Lily nodded. "I know a safe path. It will take time, but it will work." Jack trusted her completely. Leo rose and stretched, ready for the journey. They moved quietly through the forest, following Lily's directions. Every step was careful. They avoided open areas and moved along hidden paths. Leo sniffed the air and growled softly at any unfamiliar sound. Jack admired the lion's instincts. He was more than just a companion. He was a protector. After hours of walking, they reached a hill overlooking the village. Jack could see smoke rising from chimneys. The village looked peaceful, but Jack knew danger could appear at any moment. He and Lily stayed hidden, observing the surroundings. Leo crouched beside them, ready to act. Lily whispered, "We can enter from the back. Few people go there. We will warn them quietly." Jack agreed. They moved down the slope, staying low and keeping to the shadows. The village seemed quiet. Jack wondered if the Queen's men had already searched it. As they entered the village, a few villagers noticed them. Jack waved and spoke calmly. "Do not be afraid. We come with a warning." Lily stayed behind Jack, allowing him to speak first. Slowly, the villagers listened. Jack explained that men sent by the Queen were searching for someone dangerous, but he did not mention Lily's full abilities. He only wanted the villagers to prepare. Some villagers argued that they should not get involved. Others agreed to help. Jack could see that Lily's presence was strange, but they did not sense danger in her. Leo stayed alert, his eyes scanning every corner. Jack felt relief knowing they had support, even if limited. Later, Lily showed the villagers a few traps she had prepared. She explained quietly how to use them to slow down the Queen's men. Jack watched as the villagers followed her instructions. Even though they were ordinary people, they moved carefully and learned quickly. Lily's guidance gave them confidence. By evening, Jack, Lily, and Leo returned to their hiding spot near the village. They were tired but satisfied. They had done more than survive. They had built an alliance. Jack felt hope. With villagers ready to protect themselves, they could focus on the next challenge. Suddenly, movement appeared on the hill. Jack froze. The Queen's men were approaching. They had followed the village paths carefully, avoiding obvious traps. Jack's heart pounded. Lily's eyes narrowed. "We need to act fast," she said. Leo growled and stepped forward. Jack and Lily moved to the side, letting Leo face the approaching men. The lion's size and presence alone caused hesitation. Jack and Lily used this moment to position themselves on higher ground. They waited for the right time. The first man stepped too close, and Leo lunged. The others were startled. Jack and Lily moved quickly, using shadows and cover to their advantage. Rocks tumbled, branches snapped, and confusion spread among the Queen's men. They were skilled, but Jack, Lily, and Leo had the terrain and surprise on their side. After several tense moments, the men retreated to regroup. Jack breathed heavily. Lily smiled faintly. "This is only the beginning. They will come again, but we are ready." Jack nodded. He had seen Lily's courage, Leo's strength, and their combined skills. They were a strong team. That night, they sat near a small fire. Jack spoke softly. "We have made allies and survived another attack. Tomorrow, we plan our next move." Lily looked at him, her eyes reflecting the firelight. "We must be careful, but I believe we can win." Leo lay beside them, calm but watchful. Jack knew she was right. The Queen's men were relentless, but together they could face anything. He felt a bond growing stronger with Lily. They were no longer just running, were planning, preparing, and ready to fight for what they believed in. The forest was quiet, but Jack understood that the next battle would come soon. He tightened his grip on his knife, looked at Lily, and whispered, "We will face it together." Lily nodded, ready and determined. Leo growled in agreement. The alliance had been formed, and the fight was far from over. Jack, Lily, and Leo moved carefully through the forest at dawn. The attack from the Queen's men had made it clear that they could not stay near the village for long. They needed a safer place, one where they could rest and plan their next move. Lily led them to a hidden path in the mountains. She had discovered it before, a place where few humans had ever gone. The path was narrow and difficult, but Jack and Leo followed without complaint. The air was thin, and the climb was tiring, but Lily seemed to move with ease. At the top, they found a small fortress built into the cliffs. It was ancient, but solid. Jack and Lily looked at each other, understanding that this would be their new base. Leo entered first, sniffing the area and marking it safe. Inside the fortress, they found rooms and storage spaces, water collected in small pools, and sunlight entered through cracks in the stone. Jack felt relief. For the first time in days, they had a secure place. Lily smiled faintly. "We can stay here and prepare. They will have a harder time finding us." Days passed. Jack and Lily trained together. Lily showed Jack ways to hide, move quietly, and prepare traps. Leo practiced with them, learning signals and commands that helped protect the group. They became stronger and more confident each day. One evening, Jack looked at Lily. "You have survived so much. How did you learn all this?" Lily hesitated. "I grew up hiding and watching. I learned to survive. I had no choice." Jack nodded. He understood that her strength came from her past struggles, and he felt respect for her courage. Suddenly, Leo growled. Jack looked outside. Shadows moved along the cliffs. Queen's men had found them again. They were clever and relentless. Jack grabbed his weapon. Lily positioned herself, ready for the attack. Leo stepped forward, roaring. The first man appeared at the fortress entrance. Leo lunged, forcing him back. Jack and Lily used the distraction to move to higher ground. Rocks and debris fell from the fortress walls, slowing the men. Lily directed Jack where to throw, what to block, and how to stay hidden. The fight was intense. The Queen's men were strong and skilled, but Jack, Lily, and Leo used every advantage of the terrain. Leo's strength and speed were unmatched. Lily's intelligence and quick thinking gave them the upper hand. Jack fought bravely, defending Lily and helping to push back the attackers. Finally, the men retreated. They regrouped at a distance, realizing they could not take the fortress quickly. Jack and Lily breathed heavily, relieved but wary. They knew the Queen would not give up. The battle had only delayed the inevitable. Jack looked at Lily. "We did it. For now." Lily nodded. "We must be ready for when they return. It will not stop." Leo growled in agreement, standing tall and protective. That night, Jack and Lily discussed their next plan. They needed allies and strategies. The fortress was strong, but they could not fight alone forever. Jack suggested sending messages to nearby villages and travelers who could help. Lily agreed. They would prepare traps, plan escapes, and gather support. As they rested, Jack thought about the journey so far. Lily had proven her strength, intelligence, and courage. Leo had been loyal and brave beyond measure. Jack realized that they were more than a team. They were a family, bound by trust and determination. Before sleep, Lily spoke quietly. "I do not want to hide forever. I want to face them, but I need time to be ready." Jack took her hand. "We will face them together, and we will win. Leo and I are with you." Leo lay close, his presence a reminder that they were never alone. The forest outside was quiet, but the threat of the Queen's return loomed. Jack knew the next battle would be harder, but with Lily and Leo by his side, he felt hope. They were ready to face whatever came next, stronger and wiser than before. Jack woke before sunrise. He looked at the fortress walls, knowing that the Queen's men would return soon. Lily was already awake, checking traps and preparing the perimeter. Leo stretched and growled softly, sensing the tension. Jack felt a mix of fear and determination. "They could not fail now," Lily whispered. "We need to move quickly if they come from the east side. That path is weak." Jack nodded. He trusted her instincts completely. They moved along the walls, checking defenses and making small improvements. Leo followed closely, alert and ready. By mid-morning, they saw movement in the distance. The Queen's men had found them again. Jack signaled to Lily and Leo. They were ready. Lily led Jack to a higher spot overlooking the path. Leo stayed near them, growling as the first soldiers appeared. The attack began. Rocks and logs were rolled down the cliffs, hitting the men and slowing them. Jack and Lily used slings and other traps to keep the enemies off balance. Leo leapt at anyone who came too close. The fortress was strong, and their planning made it harder for the Queen's men to succeed. Jack noticed one man trying to sneak around. He grabbed a stick and threw it, hitting a rock to make a noise. The man turned and ran into another trap set by Lily. Jack smiled, realizing how much she had learned from her past experiences. Her skills were saving their lives. Hours passed, and the Queen's men kept pressing. Jack and Lily were tired but focused. Leo never stopped defending every corner and responding to commands. Jack realized that the bond between him, Lily, and Leo was stronger than ever. They understood each other without words, moving in sync to protect the fortress. During a brief moment of calm, Lily whispered to Jack, "We need to think beyond just defense. Should plan how to make them give up entirely." Jack nodded. He had been thinking the same. They could not just wait. They needed a strategy to end this pursuit. Jack climbed to a higher ledge with Lily. From there, they could see the Queen's men gathering in a clearing below. Jack pointed and said, "We will lead them into the valley traps we prepared yesterday. It is their only way out if they want to retreat." Lily agreed, and they moved carefully, using shadows and cover. Leo ran ahead, drawing attention from the soldiers. They chased the lion, unaware of the traps waiting. Jack and Lily watched from above as one by one, the men fell into pits or were slowed by rocks and nets. The fortress remained secure, and their clever strategy forced the Queen's men to reconsider. Finally, the last group retreated. Jack, Lily, and Leo watched them disappear into the forest. They had won this battle, but they knew the Queen would not stop. Jack looked at Lily and said, "We did it today, but this is only temporary. We need to plan for what comes next." Lily nodded, tired but determined. "I know, we will be ready." Leo growled softly, sensing the lingering danger. That night, they sat near a small fire inside the fortress. Jack spoke quietly. "We are stronger than I ever imagined. Together we can face anything." Lily looked at him and smiled slightly. "We have survived before. We can survive again. Leo will help, and so will we." The lion lay beside them, his head resting near Lily's feet, a reminder of their unity and protection. As the fire burned, Jack thought about their journey so far. They had escaped danger, built traps, fought off enemies, and grown closer as a team. Lily's courage, Leo's loyalty, and Jack's determination were their greatest strengths. Together, they were ready for whatever the future held. Outside the fortress, the forest was quiet, but Jack knew it would not remain so for long. The Queen would return, stronger and smarter, but he felt confidence and hope. With Lily and Leo by his side, he believed they could face any challenge. For now, they rested, planning their next move in the battles yet to come. The next morning, Jack woke with a sense of urgency. The Queen's men were not finished. He looked at Lily and Leo. They were ready too. The fortress had been prepared with new traps, and every corner was checked. Today would be the final test of their strength and courage, Jack whispered. "We must stay alert. They will try everything to capture Lily." Lily nodded, her eyes steady. Leo growled softly as if agreeing. Jack felt a surge of determination. They would not let anyone harm her. Soon, shadows moved at the edge of the forest. The Queen's army had arrived in force. Jack, Lily, and Leo took their positions. The traps were set, and every move was planned. They waited quietly, watching the men approach. The first soldiers stepped into the traps. Rocks fell and nets caught some. The Queen's men were clever, but Jack and Lily had anticipated their moves. Leo lunged at the ones who came too close, scattering them with his strength. Jack fired slings and directed rocks to slow the attackers. The fortress walls gave them an advantage, and the men struggled to advance. Hours passed. The battle was intense, but Jack, Lily, and Leo worked as one. They moved together, covering each other's weaknesses. Jack was amazed at Lily's intelligence and quick thinking. Every trap she had made was used perfectly. Leo never left her side, protecting her and warning of danger. Finally, the Queen appeared at the edge of the battlefield. She shouted orders, trying to rally her men. Jack and Lily watched carefully, knowing that she was the real threat. The Queen's army was strong, but her presence showed fear in her men. Jack realized that if they could defeat her, the rest would flee. Lily whispered, "We need to draw her in. She will be alone if we act carefully." Jack nodded. They used the traps and terrain to isolate the Queen. Leo ran ahead, causing confusion, while Jack and Lily moved from higher ground. Rocks tumbled and branches snapped, forcing the Queen to follow into the valley they had prepared. Once in the valley, the traps worked perfectly. The Queen slipped into a net, tangled and unable to move. Her soldiers, seeing her captured, panicked and began to retreat. Jack, Lily, and Leo watched as they ran back into the forest. The battle was over. Jack approached the Queen. She looked at him, angry but defeated. "Why do you protect her?" she demanded. Jack replied calmly, "Because she is human, like us. She deserves protection. That is enough reason." The Queen said nothing more. Jack helped her up and signaled that she could leave. She did, knowing she had lost. Lily looked at Jack and smiled. "We did it. We are safe now." Jack smiled back. He felt relief and joy. Leo roared, proud of their victory, and ran around the fortress, showing strength and loyalty. Days passed. The village and nearby travelers sent gifts and help, grateful for their courage. Jack, Lily, and Leo became heroes. The villagers trusted them, and Lily began to feel that she had a place in this world. Jack and Lily spent time together, sharing stories and laughter, their bond stronger than ever. One evening, as the sun set, Jack spoke softly. "I am glad we faced everything together. We survived and won because we trusted each other." Lily looked at him, her eyes warm. "And because we had Leo, he is more than a lion. He is our guardian." Leo lay beside them, his head resting on Lily's lap, calm and protective. Jack took Lily's hand. "I never want to lose you. You are important to me." Lily smiled and nodded. "I feel the same. I am glad we are together." The forest was quiet, peaceful for the first time in a long while. Jack, Lily, and Leo knew that challenges might come again, but they were ready. Together, they had faced danger, fought battles, and built a life where trust, courage, and love guided them. The sun disappeared behind the mountains. Jack looked at Lily and Leo. "We have survived everything. Now we can live and protect what matters." Lily nodded, and Leo growled softly, content. They had won, and the future was theirs.